Welcome, everybody. If you are joining us for the first time, my name is Rebecca Beardsley. I've been a stylist for over 35 years. I'm here with a special guest, Pepper Pastor. She's a dear friend, is a mentor, is just a lovely person, and I thought she'd be the perfect person to talk to you about salon career relationships. So I wanted to ask you first, what do career relationships mean to you?
I had never heard the term career relationship. So when I think of what that means, I immediately think of the relationships that we've had throughout our careers. People that maybe, we've scratched their back, they've scratched ours, kind of a thing. And it doesn't mean it necessarily is transactional, because there are a lot of transactional relationships, throughout our careers where it's a little expected that maybe if you did something for someone, then it's going to be reciprocal at some point in time. But when I think of career relationships, I think of ways that we can give to others and then how they kind of give back without that feeling that there has to be this reciprocity there, right?
What are the different types of career relationships when we think about it? I mean, what would you say to that?
I think for me, it was about seeking people out. I had a lot of resources and a lot of people that I had to literally like knock at their door because that's the only way you were going to get their attention. So I had to be a little bit more aggressive and extremely resourceful to be able to do that. And in return, people weren't very nurturing. I mean, some of the people that I look up to most, I mean, they made me cry. I mean, they were very difficult people, very difficult. But I will say how that kind of shaped me was it made me appreciate what I worked for, one. And two, when I became a salon owner and became a boss for the first time, I knew how I wanted to treat other people, and I knew what type of boss I wanted to be, and I knew that because I knew what type of boss I didn't want to be, and that was really valuable, information for me.
It sounds like because of where you were when you started, and like you said, you're building your own book, you had to go knock on doors, you had to be aggressive. It sounds like you benefited from some career relationships.
One of my most impactful career relationships was my dear friend, Jericho Mora. And Jericho, he's in San Esposito, California, but he was my mentor when I was an artist for Sebastian International back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And he was a really, really tough cookie, but he helped develop me of who I came to be as a platform artist. So he really had an incredible way to kind of basically design who you were on stage and your presentation skills, how you facilitated, who you were as an artist, to people, and how you dressed hair on a big stage. And it was not easy. Again, they were very difficult and scary times, but you learned how to stand out in the crowd. But you also learned that you were part of a team at the same time. So I think that those are two like really beautiful takeaways, is to know that you can be your own person, but you can also be a really great person with other people too.
What do you suggest to people who are maybe just beginning in their careers of hairdressing? What should they be thinking about when they're looking at how they can develop some of these relationships in their life?
For this coming generation, they need to go about their relationships in two ways. Yes, they can get a lot of traction on social media and they can directly conversate with people that maybe they wouldn't have access to, which is really impressive and incredible. But you also want to have relationships that are grounded, that maybe you can meet that person for coffee, that has realistic elements to it. And not that the other isn't realistic, but you want to have a diverse body of the types of relationships that you're forming. So online relationships and then in-person relationships.
How would you nurture these? Just through social media, or are you talking about actually meeting up with people when they can?
I know I used to get messages from people if they could come to my salon and shadow me, that they could shadow a class that I was teaching or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think those in-person experiences are really, really important.
So would you say the types of career relationships have changed for you over time?
I can tell you my career relationships now don't have anything to do with hairdressers. Majority of my career relationships are all people in business, whether it's tech or even academics. It's just a different crowd, and I sought that out. I've been doing one thing for 25 years, and I'm ready to have a different landscape to look at, right?
Is there a career relationship that you wished you would have nurtured?
I think I would have wanted to have been better at politics, working with the big companies that I had access to. And I wish I could have interacted more with the people that were very, very high up. I never really interacted that much to make it an ongoing long-term relationship with people that were executives, CEOs, senior roles. I have a few, but I should have kind of cultivated that more.
Career relationships tend to be sort of mentorship student roles.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially what you're doing, right? But I would say more mentorship, because coaching is a different thing than mentoring, right? Mentoring, you're strategically guiding them with a certain purpose, right? Coaching, there's a larger view, appropriate training, I believe, to be a coach. Where a mentor, I feel like anybody can really kind of pick that up and show somebody the ropes.
I want to say thank you for your time, and it's been so nice to catch up with you. I wish you the best of luck in all that you're doing, Pepper.